Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Monday night mini medicine card reading. I am Patrick, your friendly neighborhood shaman, and I need to get myself a new phone holder so that you can't see the top of the. Just pretend that isn't there. Never mind the man behind the curtain. All right. So welcome everyone. If you are new here, the way this works is the first 6 people come on and say yes in the comments, get a 1 card medicine card reading. And if you are not one of the first 6, no worries. All you need to do in that case is choose a number between 1 and 6 and pay attention to that card, and you will find your message dovetailed in there, woven in someplace, and yeah, so I'm just waiting for people to come on. It's kind of interesting. Usually there's people on by now, so I will just take a sip. I don't know if you can see. I treated myself and got some strawberry milk. It looks like I'm drinking Pepto-Bismol. This is so good. All right. Is there anybody out there? Anybody? Bueller? Oh, there's Sage. Hi, Sage. It's kind of a weird night. You're the first one here, Sage. And it's just you and me so far. So you're going to get a card whether you want it or not. Ha ha! All right. Might be kind of a short night tonight. All right. I'm just going to get right into it because you know what's going on. All right, Sage, card number 1. Might be a one and only thing tonight, but you've got that in reverse. So change is in the air, literally. Bat is about rebirth. In reverse, so it's like there's changes happening. Things are literally being turned on their head, right? And in reverse, it can be kind of that, dragging your heels, like them, your guide's trying to take you kicking and screaming into the next best possible future. So it's kind of like part of the message here is to surrender and allow things. Oh, cool, Nancy. Awesome. I will get Nancy next. So it's kind of like, excuse me, there's been so much change lately. Like everyone I know is going through some kind of change, some kind of upheaval. And we're so conditioned to, oh, hey, Emerald. We're so conditioned that to, like, when there's change, it's like, let's put on the brakes. Let's look at this situation. Let's think about it. Let's make sure we know what we're doing. And absolutely, Emerald, there's only 2 people here tonight so far. So, well, 3 including. So, yes, you get a card. But it's kind of like there's that one, it's a country song, and I don't know who the singer is, but it's like, when you find yourself in hell, you keep going. Something like that. It's like, if you find yourself in hell, keep going, because hopefully you'll get out before the devil knows you're there. Oh, hi, Anna. Everyone's just kind of trickling in tonight. Got you down. But it's kind of like, rather than, coming to a full stop, this is an opportunity. Any animal with wings, it's kind of like Eagle told me one time, it's like you have to open your heart by spreading your wings. And so whatever's going on right now is an opportunity, rather than trying to protect yourself and keep things really close to you, to take a breath and open your wings. Trust that everything is always working out for you. Everything is always, the universe unfolds in perfect harmony, right? And the thing is, part of it is that, we have such a hard time really feeling and understanding our connection and our oneness with the universe. Our mind just keeps insisting that we're separate, that, we approach the world as if the world is this objective reality, like the Barbie dream house, and we're just these dolls or action figures walking through it. Like there's no connection. It's like the dream house exists whether the doll is there or not. But that is not how it works. You are connected to everything around you. It's more like a Rubik's Cube where everything you do affects the entire universe. And what happens in the universe affects you. And the thing is that you are the center of the universe. You are the center of your reality. The universe revolves around you. You're the star of your own show, and everyone else is a bit character. So, it's like you are the author of your story. And in a bigger sense, the universe is who you are, right? And so the universe wants you to succeed. The universe wants you to find that happy ending. And so you can let go. You don't have to figure it out. This is about crossing that threshold from the brain to the heart. And the only way, to do that gracefully is to surrender. And that doesn't mean that you don't have a choice, that you don't have input, that you're just a doormat for the universe. But, like, for instance, I don't know if you saw my post earlier today on Facebook, but things are changing with my business, and at the end of the month, I won't have my office anymore. And someone was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, you know, back in July when I went to that Sundance ceremony, they have like what do they call it? A flesh offering, where they, like a little razor blade, and they take just a little piece, the skin from your shoulder, and they put it in a little prayer tie and everything. And I dedicated myself to my path, however it works out, wherever it's going. And so it was like my way of initiating, okay, let's do this. I came here for a purpose. Let's find it out. Let's go for it. And so now it's like, you know, with my relationship that broke up, and now I'm going to have to let go of my office, you know, and there's all these other things, so many moving parts, but I have to stay with the idea that I initiated that. And so whatever is happening is part of the path, right? And it's like, so with that, instead of trying to stay grounded in physical reality, figure out the logical, figuring out the, you know, the best, you know, choice logically, it's time, like, you know, with that, with her feet in the ceiling of the cave, it's time to ground upward, ground to spirit. That is the only stability, because the world is changing around you. And if you try to slow it down or stop it, you're just going to get crunched in the, you know, you're going to be collateral damage. You're going to get crunched by all the things that are changing, right? And so it's like this coming to this place of trust that the universe is falling into place. You know, like they say, if things are falling apart, they're not falling apart, they're falling into place. And that's basically bat medicine, is that death and rebirth. Things have to die for things to be reborn. And so if you're holding on so tight to the old way, you're blocking the flow of that energy. And there's no need to do that. Like a couple of years ago, I think I was talking about, I actually did a comic about it, where I said that I realized that my life, it's like I'm in one of those like tunnel of love type, seems like Plutonian energy. So I don't know enough about astrology to be able to say anything about that, but I take your word for it because I know you know about it. But like you're in like the tunnel of love, right? And so you're in this boat, and the boat is going. It's got its own rhythm, its own speed. It's being directed, right? And then there's things jumping out of the dark at you. There's lights flashing. There's all these things that are trying to trigger you, trying to get you to react. But as long as you keep yourself in that boat, you are safe. No matter what things happen around you, no matter what things scare you or try to trigger you, nothing can touch you as long as you stay in that boat. And that boat knows, that boat is going on its own speed, at its own rate, and it knows exactly where it's going. Hi, is it? Sorry, mate. Hi, Carly. Sorry, I couldn't read your name. Yes, there are cards left. I got you down. That's embarrassing. Anyway, so it's like you don't even have to steer the boat. You don't have to row the boat. You don't have to go faster. You don't have to go slower. As long as you just stay in the boat, you're safe. And so, kind of like, it's like the what do you call it? Oh my gosh, I can't even remember the name of that prayer. Like they say it in AA all the time about, you know, grant me the, you know, to change the things I can and accept the things I can't, and the wisdom to know the difference. Serenity prayer, that's what it is. So, you know, if I were you, I would put that prayer up someplace, like bathroom mirror or something, and that is kind of like that's where you are. It's that threshold, and I know it's hard. I know you said that it's like really hard to do that, but that's why it's coming up, because you have graduated, and it's time to step up onto the next level. You're ready. You know, and Kyle Cease uses this analogy about how we always worry about the future, but it's like a third grader deciding, like being worried about what it's going to be like in the 5th grade or the 6th grade, right? Oh my God, I'm never going to be able to handle that. Oh my, I don't know enough. I don't have enough skills. I don't blah, blah, blah. But by the time you get there to 5th or 6th grade, you're going to have the skills you need to learn and expand even further, which is the purpose of that grade. So it's kind of like, trust the universe. Believe in the universe that believes in you, okay? You got this. And trust your intuition, right? It's like logic, things are changing so much that you can't, in today's world, you can't rely on logic. You can't rely on the way things have happened before, right? The old ways of doing things don't apply any longer. So you have to listen. You have to navigate by vibration, right? Intuition, just like bat navigates through the sound waves. Bat literally navigates through vibration. So instead of trying to think your way forward, feel your way forward and trust yourself. And there might be, you know, it's like we always think we have to go from 0 to 60, or, you know, from not, you know, no knowledge or skills to perfect, right? And this is a learning experience. So give yourself some grace, allow yourself to make some mistakes, because that's how you figure out. It's like, again, it's like the mistakes are like the rumble strips on the side of the road. It's like you hit those rumble strips and you could go, oh my God, you could freak out and lose control and go even further off the road, or you could be like, okay, that wasn't right, I need to come back to center. So let the universe guide you. Okay? Feel the vibes, yes. Excuse me. All right. Card number 2 for Nancy. And thank you everyone for coming. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've only got 5 people so far, so there's 1 spot open. If there's anyone on here that hasn't asked for one yet, all you need to do is put yes in the comments, and that last card is yours. All right. Whoa. Ha. Oh, you're so welcome, Sage. I hope that made sense. And Nancy's card number 2, is Heron. This actually is very similar to yours, Sage, and in that it's about alignment like blue heron who stands in stillness in the water, casting a shadow, and the fish are drawn to the coolness of heron's shadow. So his prey comes to him. He doesn't have to hunt it down. And so it's a reminder that when you're, before you do anything, it's like, you know, even just for a moment to like take that breath and move into your heart, move into alignment, and then, you know, ask, is this action for my highest good? Is this something that is going to support who I want to become? And if it is, then you act. But it's kind of like, oh, that's interesting. Instead of thinking, this is cool. This has never occurred to me before. But instead of thinking of the fish as things that you need, that come to you, if you think of the fish as intuition, as intuitive hits, right? You can't, if you're stomping around in the water and jumping into the water trying to catch the fish, they're going to scatter. You can't catch anything that way. The only way to be able to feel the waves of intuition, to attract and listen to what's right for you, is stillness. That's so cool. You know, it's like, speaking from my Catholic upbringing, I remember there was some passage in the Bible about, I can't remember who it was, but they were looking for God, and they thought they would seek God out in the storm, but he wasn't there, and they tried someplace else, he wasn't there. It was all these really loud places, and it was only in silence that he found the voice of God. And so it's like we have to seek out that silence, that still small voice within. And if you're so busy out there doing things, and if you're so, your attention is all taken by what's going on around you, you can't hear that inner voice. You know, and to trust, again, the message is to trust your intuition. What's coming to me right now is the idea that, like the whole model, like holographic model of the universe, like the universe acts as a hologram, right? Every portion of the hologram contains the entire image. And I think in pretty much every book I've ever read about quantum physics and about the holographic universe, they use, as a sample, as an example, they use like a bowl of water, and if you freeze it at one point, it's like all the ripples are there from everything that's passed through the surface. And so you can, it has all the information there. And so heron, being a water bird, standing in the water, it's like you have access to everything that's going on. You don't have to go anywhere to get your answers. Allow them to come to you. It's like there's this other thing from Kafka, and I can't remember the entire thing, but it's basically about, I can know the world without leaving my house, right? Because it's like, to paraphrase it, it's like when you're in alignment, you know, the universe comes and rolls over at your feet. And so it's that finding that place of stillness, right? Head in the sky, feet in the earth and feeling the vibes. So again, like, it's very similar to Sage's card, but you know, and it's upright, so it's another way, it's kind of a validation that you're headed in the right direction. That don't let anyone else tell you what is right for you. No one else has the authority. No one else has the knowledge. Only you know what is best for you. And when you trust the universe, you know, school's a fish will show up at your feet. And you will know without a shadow of a doubt what is right for you. Okay? And interesting, because I know you guys, you know, are a couple. Another interesting thing that just popped into my head is that even though herons tend to be solitary, like you don't, except when they're like, when they're roosting or when they're mating, like then they hang out together and stuff, but for the most part, you don't see like a whole bunch of them on the riverbank. They're very solitary, but they are also very heart-centered. And when they meet another heron, they actually bump chests. They meet each other heart to heart, kind of this namaste thing. And so you can still be solitary, be independent, be sovereign in your own self, and still have an open heart to greet others. Okay? Let's do a fireworks for Nancy. Ha ha! I love that. Oof. All right. So, Amaral. Card number 3 for Amaral. All right, Amaral, card number 3. Sage, you're so funny. In case someone can't see the comments, Sage just put 2 hearts and then said bump, bump. Amaral, card number 3 is Lynx in reverse. And like Lynx is kind of the matron saint of psychics and seers. She is the keeper of secrets, because I always like to look at those eyes. Those eyes do not just look at you. Those eyes look through you. And by just seeing you, she knows everything about you. The good news is that unless she had, how do I put this? Sometimes it's so hard to unravel a thought into just a string of words, but the reason that she can see through you, that she can see all the secrets, is because she's done the shadow work and she has no secrets of herself in her. She has no secrets from herself. She's, like we say in shamanism, she's a hollow bone. And so like she can see clearly. She doesn't have projections. She doesn't have shadows. She doesn't have filters. She sees you exactly as you are. And so the good news is that because she's done that work, when she does see you, there's no judgment involved. There's no like, oh my God, I can't believe they do this or that. It's like there's no judgment because it's this total acceptance, right? And so in reverse, my question would be, is it time to take another look inward and see where there might still be shadows, see where there might be what do I want to say, debris from old traumas, from old teachings, etc. Things that, like blind spots, that's what I'm trying to say. Like to find your blind spots, because we all have them. There's certain things that we've been taught that we believe wholeheartedly, and we don't question it. And for the most part, it doesn't get in the way until we start doing our work and it bumps heads with who we are trying to say we are, who we are trying to, remember who we are. And it usually trips us up because it's a blind spot, like we can't see it. And so it's like, why is this happening? I know better than this. Why does this keep happening? Why is this pattern coming up over and over? And it's like there's something that hasn't come into the light yet. You may have to take your flashlight into the shadows and flash it in that one corner. But again, the good news is that you're so far along that it's just, if you're just dealing with blind spots, you've done a lot of work. Like I explained it once to one of my students. It's kind of like when you've got like a pot or a pan. Oh, very cool. So you were doing light language and the breath work. And they said to do your light language, you couldn't speak it unless you sang it. And think about that singing, that it's like having a clogged pipe or something. And by singing, it's like you clear that clog, phew, and then things just start to flow. Yes, that's exactly it. It's like everything is there. It's just a matter of believing that you're worthy. It's like I was starting to say, what I explained it to one of my students one time. It's like you've got a pot or a pan that you use all the time, right? And so, you clean it as best you can. You run it through the dishwasher, but there's always like this like caked on stuff along the sides, and it's not, it's clean, it's not dangerous or anything, but there's still that extra layer of stuff. And right now I think what's happening is you're coming up to that place where you have to scrape the sides, as where how do I put it? Kind of like what I said, if you were here to hear Sage's card, the card number 1, you might want to go back and watch that once we're done. But it's like, shoot, now I just totally lost my train of thought. It's like, because you're ready to level up. It's like everything you've done, you're in the right place at the right time, okay? And you've done all the work to get you where you are. But in order to take that next step to that next level and step into your power, you have to scrape the sides of that pan clean so that it can reflect your light, right? And so sometimes it's like when we're doing our spiritual work, because we have so much stuff kind of showered on us since we were kids and everything, a lot of time, not to downplay it or anything, but relatively, some of our spirit work, like letting go of old beliefs and stuff, is like, I can't believe I even believed that at one point, right? So it's like some of the stuff is like just scooping out stuff, but then once we scoop out everything that's obvious, that's when we have to go in, like an archaeologist with the little broom and the toothpicks and kind of excavate to get all of that extra dirt and sand and whatever out of there, so that you can be the pure hollow bone, right? So it's not reversed because you're doing anything wrong. It's like keep going. Because you're meant to shine bright, right? And so you wanna shine up, like they talk about how, we're all mirrors for each other. And if your mirror is cloudy or dirty, people aren't going to see the real you, for one thing, and they're going to see reflections of themselves in you that aren't true, that aren't authentic. And so the best thing you can do for the world is to polish up that mirror, so that when people look at you, there's nothing, how do I put this? There's nothing of ego there. There's nothing of you there. And so they're basically looking at a pure reflection of themselves, right? And that is one of the best services we can do for people, because, and yeah, that triggers people, right? It's like, but when you're this pure mirror, they have no one to blame but themselves for what they see, right? If they're willing to own it, if they're willing to do the work. They might project it all on you and say it's your fault, but it's not. If you're the purest, most authentic being that you can be, you are doing the greatest service to the world that you can do, okay? So just keep wax on, wax off. Because you are meant to be this healer. You are meant to do so much good. To be able to be that unfiltered space held for people, so that they can see clearly, so that you can reflect back to them without judgment, exactly who they are. And that's why Lynx is the keeper of secrets and not the sharer of secrets, because she looks at you and she sees everything about you. But she doesn't have the authority to change you. She can't come in and just say, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this. Because she sees you as a whole without judgment. And so you have to ask, and by asking, that's how you give, number one, you give permission. Number two, that's what tells her where to start. Because otherwise, no one can tell another person that they're wrong or that they have to do something differently, right? It's being that pure light and keeping those secrets. It's like, it's that integrity. I see a lot of readers and healers and stuff that don't seem to have that integrity, or they think that because they're psychic and they get a psychic hit that they have to share it. And it's like, no. You can do more harm than good that way. If you're sharing something either before someone's ready for it, or, it has, and that was one of the things that was really emphasized for me by a number of my teachers, was that you don't you don't share your medicine, you don't share your gifts. I mean, you do, but you don't do healing. You don't volunteer that level of guidance unless someone asks, right? So, all right, card number 4 for Anna. Whoa. Oh, good. You're welcome, Emerald. I'm so glad. I start talking. I'm trying to embody links as well, and so that what you just wrote is exactly what about shining the light at something. I'm glad that resonates. I'm glad that is helpful. All right, Anna. Had 3 cards jump out for you. And first I was going to put them back, but we only really have one more person so far anyway. So I'm going to go through quickly because they jumped out, they volunteered. So card number 4 is actually 3 cards. It's Whale and Fox and Raven. And 2/3 of that is trickster medicine. But I'm going to start with Whale. And Whale is the record keeper. Whale, it's said that Whale sings the history of the world in her song. And it's got the star up here. That's Sirius. I'm serious. That's Sirius. That it's said that is where Whale is from. And Sirius is the brightest star in the night sky. In other words, Whale always has her bearings. She knows where home is, no matter what. And that's what helps to allow her to dive and to resurface, because she always, it's like her own personal North Star. And so what I want to say is that I know you've been doing more spiritual work, journaling and meditating and all of that. This is a validation of all the growth and the changes that you've been making, because your world is still fluid. It's not, written in stone, but you also have a better sense of where you're from and where you're going. And so because of that stability, you can play around in the water and, experiment and try one thing. If that doesn't get you where you're going, try a different direction. And so it's really, you really made a difference, and you've been really making a lot of progress. Fox is, I always call him the ninja of the animal kingdom, because his medicine is really about observing without being seen. And it's like that old saying about crazy like a fox. Or like I remember so many cartoons and stuff, or old TV shows, like, that's so crazy, it just might work. It's like starting to allow that to be kind of your baseline, like that you don't have to look at things in like the established way of looking at things. It's always looking at things with fresh eyes, making connections, seeing beyond just what is obvious. And, trusting your intuition, trusting the wisdom that you have gained in your life, and doing things that other people might think are crazy. But it's really about it's about breaking up that routine. We're such creatures of routine. We which is kind of ironic, because I was just saying about, your routine of doing spirit stuff is really helping. But this is like stepping outside of the norm, the normal things, the normal way people look at things, and seeing things totally different, acting from a place of magic, of heart, because that is how Fox can be such a master of illusion, right? In every culture that Fox is a part of, Fox is known for magic and illusion. And so, and that fits with the ninja thing, like disappearing. Fox can disappear while you're looking at him. Fox can lay down false trails. They can blend in. And they can disappear. They can wrap that cloak of invisibility around them at any moment. So, it's really about achieving a new level of mastership where you're the instigator, you're the creator, you're the one that initiates things, instead of waiting for things to work out or waiting for things to happen and then making a choice. It's like you can kind of see what's coming down the pike, and you can decide in plenty of time how you're going to, preemptively move. And you can be really confident that nothing sticks to you. Fox, this is why fox hunts have been so popular for so long, because they're really hard to catch. They're really hard to trap. And so it's like embracing that trickster, but not from a mean-spirited place, not like, I'm going to go rob a bank because I can disappear in plain sight. It's more of, like, I like to think of it as, like, there's that Bruce Lee quote about, don't mistake the moon, the finger pointing at the moon, for the moon. And so what Fox enables you to do is to cast an illusion, or tell a story like my default setting is Star Trek, right? It's like Star Trek. It's this story. It's this made up fictional thing, but it has affected our society in such deep ways. And it gives a template for how to move forward, for what we're aiming at. And so because of that, so Fox can weave these threads together and give possible futures, possible outcomes, and hope. And then, be like, look at that, and the person looks at that, whatever story that Fox just wove, and then Fox disappears. So that finger disappears. And so that person has no choice but to claim discovering whatever that insight is, or whatever that revelation is, because Fox disappeared before they could put it on, before they could start to worship the messenger, right? And there's a quote, I think it was Ramtha who said it, but it's like, in their last days, a master leaves no footprints. So you are achieving a new level of mastership. And along with that, card number 3, 3 of, I always forget. So this is all card number 4. So the third part of card number 4 is Raven. And this Raven, it's like these two are kind of establishing the structure. And Raven is the one that comes in and fills it out. Raven is pure bibbity bobbity boo magic, where anything is possible. She is like the deepest level of magic there is. It's like that darkness of the creatrix, the womb, where all things exist. The potential is pure potential. But Raven is also the fire bringer who went to the sun and stole fire from the sun to bring to the earth so that we could see. It's like before that, the earth was pure darkness. And so Raven went to the sun, got fire, and brought it to earth so that we could see, so we could heal. And so in other words, you're stepping into that place, again, like I was talking about with Sage, being the center of your reality. Instead of trying to catch up to whatever's happening in the universe, in the world, you are the center. The world revolves around you, and you get to go into that darkness, into that womb, find the reality that you desire from the heart, and you get to bring it into the light of day. You're a fire bringer. And so it's like moving from, again, like I said earlier, instead of being someone who just reacts to whatever's happening, and like, well, everything always happens for a reason, so I'm not involved. I'm just going to let whatever happen. And it's like, no, you get to choose, actively choose what you want your world to be like. So that, I think, is worth some fireworks. Because you're the fire bringer. Good job. All right, so card number 5. If there's anyone else that came in late, there is still room for one more. So far, we've only got 5 people, so all you need to do is say yes in the comments. And that last card is yours. All right, Carly, this is your card, card number 5. You're welcome, Anna. Hi, Josh. Perfect timing. You will have the 6th and last card. I'm on card number 5 right now, so I'll get to you in a minute. But that was perfect timing. All right, so card number 5. All right, Carly, card number 5 is Turtle. Turtle. I feel more of a sense of groundedness, like getting your feet under you, feeling a little more supported. And being a denizen of the water, things might still be wonky and wishy-washy and topsy-turvy. But for the most part, if you pay attention, you will feel like despite the waves and the currents, that there's a little more stability in your world. Not in your world so much as in you, right? Which is kind of what I've been saying all along tonight. That again, it's like you're the center of the world. You literally carry the world on your back. Your world. Not the world, but your world. And so you're automatically protected. You're automatically safe. If things do threaten, you can pull inward. What does that sound like? You know, meditation, alignment. It's like, and the other thing I love about Turtle is that if the water gets too choppy or crazy on top, they can drop down to a level where it's still. It's like, and let the storm rage above them. Let it go, let it go. And stay in that place where it's still until the storm passes and then can resurface again. So I think what I'm feeling right now is like part of the message for you is that it's not up to you to fix the world. It's not your job to calm the storms. And it is perfectly fine for you to pull within and let the storms blow themselves out and then resurface. It's like you don't owe anybody. It's not up to you to fix anyone else's world, right? And I can't help thinking of something Alan Watts said about how, you know, you can't smooth the waves even with an iron. You try to smooth the waves with an iron, you're just creating more waves, right? The only way to calm the waters is stillness. And so it's okay. You don't have to jump into the middle of the squall. You don't have to run into the middle of the fight or into the middle of the battle or whatever it is. It's okay to withdraw and seek stillness, you know. And at some point, because that stillness becomes such a part of you, you'll find yourself walking through the storm or through the battle, and there's stillness all around you. It seems like this is the theme tonight, is that, you know, you are the center of the universe. You are the center of the world. The world revolves around you. So when you find that stillness within you and you go out into the world, that is the vibe. That is what you carry with you into the world. And you do smooth out those waves just by being present because of the energy that you're giving off. And so you're always in the right place at the right time, right? Because you're always home. No matter where you are, you always carry home with you. And so that's what allows you, like turtles can be on land or in the water, wherever they are, they're at home. And so, like, give yourself credit for that kind of adaptability and flexibility to be in all these different kind of situations and still stay grounded, okay? I don't know if you do any kind of readings or or oracle things, but my guides are specifically, or maybe it might be someone else that's watching and had picked card number 5, but every turtle shell has 13, like you can kind of see that, like there's a center, wait, hold on. So there's this center part, and there's always 13 plates in that middle part, and then there's these plates along the side, and there's 28 plates around the edge of every turtle shell. So turtles are about timing. As one of the earliest oracles, just dropped my turtle on the floor. They would take a turtle shell and they would put it in the fire and wait for it to crack, and then they would read the cracks, you know, because it was like the 13 months of the year and the 28 days in the months. And so they had great timing. They could tell when something was going to happen. But so if you're not already, I would just play around with some kind of oracular thing, whether it's like tarot cards or medicine cards or Norse runes or whatever, but and maybe you already do, I'm not sure, but I think there's something about you're meant to be doing some sort of oracular work, whether for yourself or other people, I'm not sure, but check it out. Okay? But that card is validation. You may not have even realized how far you've come and how much progress you've made, but you are so much more solid and stable than you've been before. So good on you. All right, card number 6 for Josh. I'm so glad you're here, Josh. I haven't seen you or talked to you for a really long time. Good to see you. I showed people this earlier. I don't know if you can see. I treated myself to some strawberry milk, but it looks like I'm drinking Pepto-Bismol. Yum, yum, yum. All right. Josh. Card number 6. All right. You're so welcome, Carly. I hope that made sense. I hope that resonates. I love turtle. I had to finally admit that I have a lot of turtle medicine. It's like I've got this sitting right here. You know you're a shaman when you've always got a turtle shell within arm's reach. I've got this like turtle basket, and there's another full turtle shell just around the other side of the curtain. I've got, yeah, so I had to finally admit that I have turtle medicine. All right, Josh, card number 6. You got alligator in reverse. Alligator in the sewer. There's an alligator in the house. Alligator is going along with tonight's theme. Alligator is a lot about integration. And alligator is the perfect example of what I was talking about earlier about the world revolves around you, right? Alligator floats in the water. Only her eyes are above the water, and they're on the side of her head so she can see the entire, the entire 360 panoramic view around her. So she knows herself to be smack dab in the center of her world. And everything around her reflects, revolves around her. And her worldview is whole. It's like we have a tendency to have our worlds are fractured and splintered, and because we've got our social life over here somewhere, and our work life is over there someplace, our family life is back here, and there's no continuation, there's no connection between them. So it's like we're all these different people trying to fit into these different worlds that are around us when they are all connected. You're the common denominator of all the things in your world, right? And that's part of your uniqueness. That's part of everyone's uniqueness, because you're in the middle of your world, and there's these things that connect to you in your world, and it spills over, like someone else's world over there has something in common with you, and then someone over here in their world has something in common with you here, and so you're kind of like this bridge between all these things that to anyone else are unrelated. And so your job is to see, and you're an artist, so this is so perfect, is to see the relatedness of everything around you, to tell those stories, and to display those connections for others so that they can open their eyes to the different connections in their own lives. And so it's like right now you're in a process of integrating where things might not seem connected, but again, common theme tonight, it's about finding that stillness, right? Just float. Just float. The water has you. You don't have to do anything. Just float and allow the world to reveal itself to you. And there's another part of alligator medicine that may be, especially when she comes in reversed, it can be about a rebirth, because alligator, this cold-blooded reptilian lizard thing, is one of the best mothers in the animal kingdom. Not only does she protect her nest and defend her nest from predators, she actually actively turns the soil in the nest, turns the eggs, so that they get equal amounts of warmth from the sun and coolness from the earth. And so part of this integration, things might feel topsy-turvy and like you don't know which way is up, and all of a sudden what was down is up and what was up is down, and all this next day is the opposite. That might be the universe stirring the nest, making sure that you get enough light from spirit and enough grounding from the earth. And this is a promise that it is all going to sort itself out. You're in the nest, you're in the egg, so there's not a lot of reference points. But with alligator standing over you, I just saw this image of Kali Ma, the dark mother, like this fierce She's protecting you with this fierceness so you can relax and let go and trust that everything is going to work out. Because you've got the Dark Mother on your side, and she is going to protect you fiercely. And not only that, once you hatch, she takes you in her mouth and takes you down to the river and teaches you how to swim. So as best you can right now, I don't know what's going on in your life these days, but surrender. Let the river carry you. And know that, like Abraham Hicks says, there's nothing you need up river. Everything that you need is down river. So drop the oars and stop rowing upstream. Stow the oars and let the river carry your boat where you need to go. Okay? Because you are in for an amazing rebirth. And the other aspect of Alligator I love to connect with is, she's, number one, she's a survivor. She has been around for millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of years, unchanged, because she's so well adapted to her environment, to her place in the world, that she is this unbroken chain of primal earth goddess wisdom, that kind of, Delphic oracle, unbroken wisdom of the ages. And in this new rebirth, that wisdom is going to be opening up even more. It's kind of like, I'm just like the alligator egg, like the egg cracking open. It's like that song from, what's his name? Cohen. The thing about, there's a crack in the cosmic egg because that's where the light gets in. And it's like, right, now things might be kind of dark, but that darkness is going to crack open and you're going to see the light of day. And it's not going to be just the light of day of what's there, but there's going to be a depth to you and a depth to that wisdom that you share with the world, a depth in your artwork that wasn't there before. I, for one, can't wait to see that. So you're doing great. It might not feel like it. It might feel like you're in between the worlds right now and nothing makes sense. As best you can, just relax, breathe, surrender, and trust. Okay? Like, sometimes my mantra, like I repeat it over and over and over and over and over again all day long, is everything is always working out for me. Because it is. And especially when you have that mindset, everything's working out for me, no matter what happens, even if it seems counter to where you think you're supposed to go, there is a purpose to that you can trust. Again, it's just stop rowing and just let the river carry you. Again, it's like I was talking earlier about the tunnel of love analogy, about being in the boat, even though things are jumping out at you from the dark and lights are flashing. As long as you stay in that boat, you're safe. These other things are trying to trigger you, but as long as you stay in the boat, you're safe. And the boat knows where it's going. The boat doesn't need to be steered or rowed. The boat has its exact right pace. It's in the right place at the right time. And eventually you will come out of that tunnel into the light of day and look around and everything will make more sense. Okay? I hope that is helpful. All right, my friends, I'm going to pull one more card. One card for the community. What animal is walking with us or flying with us. whatever the case may be this coming week. And while I'm shuffling, I just want to remind you to please share my video. If there's anyone especially that you think it might be helpful for. And you can tag people in the comments if you wish to, if that's the easiest way to share it. What else? Oh, and I have my PayPal and Venmo links pinned to the top of the comments. And if you enjoyed this, if you got something out and you want to reciprocate and give a little something back, I am so beyond grateful for anything you wish to give me, or if you just enjoy my work and wish to support your friendly neighborhood shaman. I can't tell you how much that touches me. I mean, seriously. It still baffles me sometimes. But I am so grateful. So thank you for that. Another announcement. I was going to write things down so I don't forget anything, but I didn't. I was going to write them down so I don't forget anything, but I forgot to write it down. As I mentioned, I kind of mentioned earlier, my work situation is shifting, and I'm only going to have my current office for another 2 weeks, like literally 2 weeks from today. And so if you've ever wanted to come see me in person, well, especially for a healing, I'm still going to be working out of Four Sisters Holistic Remedies, the store that I rent my office through. I'm still going to be in the store doing readings, but there's not really a healing space. So if you've been wanting a healing, like a soul retrieval or shamanic Reiki or something like that, this is your 2 weeks notice that, if you want to try to schedule a time with me in the next 2 weeks, I need to remember to go in and open up my scheduling thing so that works for people. But yeah, so if you want to come see me in person for a healing, this is your chance. And along with that, I have what I call my shaman sampler special. And so I'm kind of promoting that as well. What that is you get an hour session with me, which is normally $120, but you get a 30-minute reading and a 30-minute healing. And I'm only charging $111. So you get a little bit of a discount, and you get to sample what a shamanic reading is and what a shamanic healing is with me. So just to put that out there, make you aware of it, this is your chance to come see me for something like that. And the thing is that everything I do in person, I can do over Zoom. I mean, there are no limits, literally, to shamanic work. Like, time and space is an illusion. And I have had sometimes even better results with a soul retrieval that I did long distance than some of the ones I do in person. Although it's really hard to judge that. They're not really better or worse than any other ones. But anyway, so 2 more things. So this coming Friday, if you know how to journey, Friday from 6 to 8 is our monthly shamanic journey circle, where you come in. If you know how to journey already, it's a chance to practice your shamanic skills, and we journey with each other and for each other, and it's a good time. And this might be the last time I get to do it for a little while until I find somewhere else. So that's an opportunity to try that out before it goes away for a bit. And then next Saturday, the 28th, I usually do a monthly sacred pipe ceremony, either in the park or in my office. But I'm going to do it that Saturday in my office. And normally it's from 11 to 12, but someone scheduled, I've got a soul retrieval before that. So I changed it from 2 to 3. So if you want to experience in person the sacred pipe ceremony, and you can get kind of a feel for that Wednesday night if you tune in here on my Facebook page at 7 o'clock. I do a video every week, but that Saturday it'll be in person at my office, and I figured it'd be kind of like maybe a little bit of like an open house, kind of a saying goodbye to my space, kind of ceremonially, and having people, clients and friends of mine that have come and be able to, kind of say thank you and goodbye to that space. So I'll figure out the details of that more, but anyway, just I wanted to remember to say all of those things. And I think that's it. So let's pull this last card. All right. So for the community card, we got mouse in reverse. And mouse medicine is basically don't sweat the small stuff. It's all small stuff. Don't overthink. Don't, especially right now as we're approaching the election and everything, and there is so much rhetoric and propaganda and stuff like that out there. Don't get caught up in the drama. Don't get caught up in the nonsense. Listen to your heart. Again, you are the center of your world. You don't have to worry, like mouse, you don't have to worry about the cat next door or the dog down the street. All you need to pay attention to is your immediate surroundings, your immediate world. And one of the realizations I've had recently was that, we can be like, oh yeah, I got my own little world and these things, my dreams and my desires and passions I want to do. But what if the outside world blows up? You are the center of the universe. You came here with purpose. You came here with passions, with talents, with gifts, with dreams. You wouldn't have those dreams and those passions without being given the resources with which to fulfill them. And so the outside world has to reflect those dreams. The outside world has to support you in your passions because it was the universe who gave those to you. And the universe is not going to pull the rug out. Psych! And so trust the universe. Believe in the universe that believes in you. And know that your only responsibility is to keep things simple, keep things small. Focus on what brings you joy. And by doing that, the rest of the world will follow suit. And I know that sounds oversimplified. And we're talking about simplification. But the thing is, bringing back in the quantum physics, as you focus on joy, as you focus on becoming the best possible expression of yourself, as you become more and more authentic, that's how you raise your frequency, right? Well, when you raise your frequency, think about the multiverse, like where you're right here, right now, and you're in this earth plane. If you think of it as a plane, as a flat plane, and there's all these other layers of other alternate worlds, right? And as you raise your frequency, you don't necessarily change this world that you're a part of right now. You raise yourself up into a different vibration, a world at a different vibration. So you're resonating higher. And so the world literally changes around you because you're going into a whole nother dimension, a whole nother reality. And it's seamless, so we don't even think about those things. But that's how it happens. That's how it works. So you don't have to focus on changing the world. You focus on yourself, and the world takes care of the rest. The world will reflect that work and that progress. And the world will do everything it can to support you in fulfilling those dreams. So keep it simple and keep going, okay? Oofda. All right, that is our time for tonight. I thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for spending your evening with me. I know I get long-winded, but at least I got my strawberry milk to keep my throat lubricated. So thank you for joining me. I hope you will join me again next week. Please, please, please share my video. Oh, and when we're done here, I'm going to share it to my Facebook page, of course. I'm also going to upload it to my Perching Wolf Studios YouTube channel. And so if you want to watch this again, you can watch it as many times as you want. And on my YouTube channel, I've got like 5 years or something like that worth of these videos. So if you need some guidance, it's like pick one at random and choose a number and just watch for that card. And I promise you, the universe has this magical way of giving you the right information at the right time, and it's going to all make sense. And I have other videos of ceremonies, the sacred pipe ceremony I was mentioning, and songs and different things. So check that out. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like my videos. That helps me out. It helps others find me. And I am your friendly neighborhood shaman. I am here to support you in whatever you're doing. So visit my website, perchingwolfstudios.net. You can read more about me, learn more about me, who I am, what I do, and see all the different shamanic services I offer. And you can set up a session right from my website. And I look forward to helping. I look forward to supporting you in finding your own heart's path. Okay? All right, so let's call it a night. Thank you again for joining me. And until I see you again, know that I love you, that I see you, and that I honor you. Have a wonderful week, everyone, and go shining. All right, bye.